So I'm outside the home of Alex Bacelar, and we are going to see what he's made for me. There's a viola waiting, but he actually has 4 violas I'm going to try. So it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about how he makes instruments in his career, and so it'll be fun. So let's go inside. Yes. Maestro!
Maestro, how are you? Good afternoon. So nice to see you.
Oh, air conditioning. Air conditioning is good.
Yeah, well, it's hot today.
It's like 90 degrees outside. Anyway, awesome. Okay. So,
Well,
you have some exciting things to look at here. I see. So this is the one that I tried about 2 months ago, and I've been playing it to death. Quartets, concerto, opera, everything.
do you feel that it projects on that?
I do. I mean, you know, for about 18 to 20 years, you were telling me, Brett, you got to go to a smaller viola to project. And it took me a long time to say, okay. But I think this is fabulous, and I've had a lot of fun playing on it. What makes this a good viola?
Well, the model and the material, but the most important thing is the acoustical work that was done on the viola.
Mm-hmm.
I have spent basically a lifetime working on the understanding the physics of the acoustics of the instrument, and working with so many fine instruments gave me a lot of insight into the construction of the master instruments of the past. I am, when I say master instruments, I am referring to the great 18th century Italian instruments, the violin or the viola or the cello.
So we have 4
violas that
Bacelar violas.
Yes.
What is this one all about?
This one is, when I made this one, I used based on a Stradivari model. I think that the original model exists at the Cremona Museum. They call it MS, means mold Stradivarian.
It's quite an adjustment for me because the viola that I have is a Carletti, and it's about 16 3/4, and it's very fat and has a great tone, but it's big and it's very rich. And so I found it a little bit like, wow, this is a different sound playing on a smaller viola that has a more mezzo-soprano color as opposed to a tenor or an alto viola. But playing this in concerto format was a real eye-opener, because when I was playing it, I couldn't really tell if it was coming out, but then I had a student take my phone and go about 100 yards away, or 100 feet away, and they would film it, and it sounded like I was playing into a microphone. I couldn't believe it. So it's been kind of fun. But so anyway, we have 4 violas, so this is the one I'm most familiar with. So I'll just play a little bit on this one. So it's very even. It's very projecting, I find. If I'm going to play something that's sort of romantic, like Schubert.
When you want to project. But that applies to almost any instrument.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I wanted to create when I created this instrument, I was concerned not just only about the sound. One of the first thing that the musician feels when they pick up the instrument is not just the sound, it's how it feels in your hand. It has to respond fast. So when I finish an instrument, I want it not only to have a really gorgeous sound and have projection, but also it has to be very easy and very responsive.
Right.
If you have to work hard to play an instrument, then you really can't play well.
Right.
Because it's going to get it in the way.
That's a really good point. If you're playing a viola that is not so big that you're struggling, then your muscles are relaxed, and you're able to play with a darker sound because you're not struggling. So you don't need a big viola to play dark or to play big and bold. You need to be relaxed. So on a small viola, you can have a dark sound.
slightly larger viola. This is 16 and a half.
Okay.
And it's a little bit actually longer and a little narrower than the previous one. And
These two were made at the same time?
around, this was the first one, and this
Okay.
one was immediately after.
Okay.
And so, see,
Oh, a different sound. It sounds really big. I like, there's a certain woody quality to it, which I think probably really projects nicely. So, the A string is like a trumpet.
yeah.
Yeah, they're both really beautiful, and they have similar varnish
Yeah,
ideas,
Yeah.
you know.
That was a different era. Now we are going to go to the new ones.
Okay. I'm using
That's the one.
Yeah,
this
is
one,
it a little
It's
bright?
a little more focused.
Yeah, yeah. But also, right, this viola hasn't been played at all.
So I'm the first violist to ever play it.
Yes, correct.
You only played it like a cello.
Yes, absolutely.
So this is like brand new.
Just finished. Sounds good.
It does.
It needs to settle now.
Brand new.
This one is also brand new.
Hopefully this will work. Yeah. Looks familiar. Works quite nice. Yeah, it's really, it's even a better quality song.